you, hit the person next to you and say, don't you dare start hating. Don't hate me. It's just going to be trouble for you. Don't do it. Don't do it. Some of y'all need to remind some people, because Christian people like to fuss at each other. Say, don't you hate on me. It's good for you not to. Just let them know right there. If you got a bunch of haters, just circle that one. Look at verse, we jump over to verse, to chapter 8. Jump over to chapter 8. All these chapters are filled with what God says he's going to do. For time's sake, I can't read it all to you now. I'm just reading the Bible at home now. Deuteronomy chapter 8, verse 2. And you shall remember that the Lord led you all the way these 40 years in the wilderness. Why? Now watch, because he's going to break it down here. He says, listen, I took you out of Egypt to bring you into promised land. He said, but along the way, I've got to make sure you have the right perspective about what's going down here. I'm going to bless you. I'm going to tell the person next to you, say, God's going to bless you. Watch this. It will happen the sooner you get right perspective. That's why we're talking today. Are y'all with me? Hit the person next to you and say, it's a good thing we came today. I need this. I need this. Some of y'all in the back didn't say it. I'm looking at you. Go ahead, hit them. Told you it's interactive church. And you shall remember that the Lord your God led you all the way these 40 years in the wilderness to humble you and test you. When trouble comes, God's saying, listen, I'm not trying to take you out. I'm trying to get you to get right perspective here. Watch. Humble you and test you to know what was really in your heart. You need to know what's really in your heart. Whether you would keep his commandments or not. Now, when we understand under the old covenant, he's talking about commandments, but God's wanting us to know under the new covenant, do you trust him or not? Do you trust me or do you trust you? All right, here we go. So he humbled you and allowed you to hunger and fed you with manna, which you did not know, nor did your fathers know. He said, yeah, I allowed you to get hungry a little bit. I allowed that job to be taken from you. Why? So you can feel the squeeze a little bit, and let me see who you trust. Do you trust me or do you trust you? No, he said, now I let you get hungry so I could feed you with manna. I fed you with manna. What does that mean? Do you know what the manna is? John 6 describes what the manna is. Jesus said, I'm the manna from heaven. You got me. I'm with you. I know exactly what you're going through. Have you ever been in a situation where going, Lord, where are you? Why aren't you doing something? Why are you playing? The disciples always went through this. Remember they were on the boat and Jesus was right there on the boat with them, but they were in the middle of a storm in the boat. Jesus in the bottom of the boat, sleep. They're in the storm, and then they run over, waking Jesus up. Carest thou not that we perish? Don't you care about what I'm going through? How many of y'all said that before? We all have. Lord, where are you? Don't you care? He's there the whole time. Say it's just a test. Are you with me? To test you to know what? What was really in your heart. Watch this. He says, and fed you with manna which you didn't. He said, now the manna I was sustaining you the whole time. You thought you was going to be taken out, but you weren't, because I'm still taking care of you, even though you didn't even understand that I'm taking care of you, and I'm bringing you to your promises. You just thought I wasn't taking care of you. Come on, somebody. Nor did your fathers know that he might make you know that man shall not live by bread alone. He says, I need you to know that you don't live according to your education alone, your skill set alone, your work alone. Yes, you're cute. Yes, you're talented. Tell the person next to you, say, you cute, you cute. You're smart. Tell them you're smart. You got great gifts. I mean, you're the whole package. You're triple threat. You got it all. God said, but that ain't enough. The moment you look to you to rely on the blessing of God, God says, you misunderstood this whole thing. You need me. Man shall not live by bread or natural means or money. Remember back in the 70s, I was born in the 60s, so I can say this. He said, what's happening, man? You got any bread? And they was talking about money. Come on, somebody. That big old afro. Jackson 5, come on. He says, but man lives by every word that proceeds from the mouth of God. And God said, I brought you in the wilderness to humble you, let you live. He said, I let you live just on enough so that you would realize you don't live by just the stuff. See, some of you are waiting for the new job to be happy. Some of you are, well, I'll be happy, I'll praise God when I get married. You're going to be waiting forever then. You need to praise God right now without the job, without the perfect job. Give God a praise. That's called a yet praise that Keith and them was talking about. You give a God praise right now. God, I thank you because your word is true. Hey, and even if the job lays you off, you recognize that's just a job. God is my source. They can change the job, but I have the source of the job. Now, when your perspective is wrong, now, yeah, I understand getting shaken a minute, but you don't stay down when God is your source. If you're your source, you get real nervous because you think, well, how am I going to get another job? If God's your source, you say, God's got favor. He can get me wherever I need to be. But what he's telling these people is watch closely. So he humbled you and allowed you to hunger and fed you with manna which you did not know or understand, nor did your fathers, that he might make you know, that man shall not live by bread or natural means alone, but man lives by every word that proceeds from the mouth of God. Your garments did not wear out on you. This tells me something. This says they weren't able to get new clothes, but God made sure the old clothes didn't wear out. Somebody don't like that. I want some new clothes. God said, appreciate them old clothes that didn't wear out. So you qualify for the new wardrobe. You got an attitude with the not wearing out, you just disqualified for the new wardrobe. Look at the next one. Nor did your foot swell these 40 years. Now see, because y'all ride in your car, that don't mean nothing to you. Till you go to Disney for one day. Go to Disney for one day and you be like, you take your shoes off and your feet is like, whoa, whoa, whoa. God said, I've been marching you around for 40 years and your feet didn't swell? Try 4 hours at Disney. My Orlando people know what I'm talking about.